Good morning and welcome to the Forex Market Wrap, brought to you by Pepperstone. It's Monday the 7th of August 2017 and I'm Darren Sinden. Let's take a look at overnight changes, any price moves to be aware of. As it's Monday, we're looking at closing prices from New York on Friday night. I just want to focus on a couple of points here. First of all, we saw a rare beast indeed on Friday, and that was dollar strength, dollar index gaining 0.8%, remaining down 8.5% year to date, of course. And that strength from the dollar pretty much came at the expense of the euro falling by exactly the same amount as the dollar gained. Of course, the euro remains 11.9% up on the year against the dollar. The biggest mover in the week, dollar rand, the dollar making gains of 3.2% against the rand. That finished on Friday at 13.44.87. One to watch there, I suggest, across the rest of the week. And speaking of things to watch, might we see a pullback in euro dollar? I've drawn a chart here to exemplify what I'm talking about. We saw a bearish candle on Friday. It wasn't quite a bearish engulfing pattern, but nonetheless fairly negative. We're trading above this morning, but I'd like to remind people to keep an eye on 117.28 in euro dollar. That was Friday's low. If we do break in here, then perhaps we might come back to this horizontal support and trend line just above 116, somewhere around 116.10. So that's something to consider going forward. Right, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the market today. It's a pretty quiet calendar in comparison to the end of last week. We have a few bits of note, but nothing too exciting. Consumer price index data for July year-on-year and month-on-month coming out of Switzerland at 7:15 GMT. We have some further labour market data due from the States at 1400, and then probably the peach of the items today, 17:25. Neil Kashkari, an FOMC member, is speaking in the US, after which we'll have consumer credit data from the States for June, and finally the British Retail Consortia like-for-like retail sales data for July here in the UK. That's at 2300 or 2301 I should say GMT, and that number is something we'll probably discuss at more depth or in more depth tomorrow. Okay, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye. First of all, the Hong Kong dollar edges towards its lowest intraday levels for a decade versus the US dollar as money market differentials between the pair widen to pre-global financial crisis levels. That's something perhaps to also watch closely going forward. Iron ore prices have jumped in China again by 7%. Before falling back to just 3.2% up on the day. That's the second big spike we've seen in iron ore prices in the last week, so again something to keep an eye on, and of course that feeds directly into the Australian economy. And staying with Pacific economies, Indonesia's GDP grew at 5% in Q2 2017, slightly below forecast but still a very creditable performance from the Indonesian economy. Food for thought then, something for you guys to take away into the trading day with you. Just wanted to focus on this. Whilst our world is far from perfect, we are making progress in many areas. And data released at the weekend shows that on average the number of people living in extreme poverty has fallen by an incredible 130,000 each day since 1990. And the chart here exemplifies that. So whilst there's still work to do, we are making progress in many ways. So take that with you. Have a positive outlook and have a great trading day. Please take a moment to read through this risk warning. Trading on CFDs and FX with margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks, please contact your Pepperstone account executive. Thank you, and we look forward to speaking to you tomorrow.